Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with an addendum from our last tutorial, and this having to do with the poster here. To make the fake folds, what I did this time was to take a piece of paper here that was white on one side and yellow on the other side and put that against a dark blue background. Or you could use black, is probably better. And what I did was I laid the paper down yellow side up and then tore little pieces off the edges and folded it over so that the white backside would show over. This separation of color makes the magic tool a lot easier to use. So what we did was put that piece, once I scanned it, on top of the layer of the poster, as you can see right here. Now it's much easier to cut the folds out of the poster this way. All you have to do is, let's grab the magic tool and let's put that like at 50% or so. And I'm going to hold the shift down as I click on all the dark blue parts, which is going to be the folds from the poster. So if I hold the shift down and just go click, click, click on every dark blue part on the poster, that's going to make it a lot easier and faster to make those folds in the background. And that's opposed to the one by one. Now that I have those picked out, let's pick the bottom layer to delete that from. And I'm going to hit the delete button. And did that work? Let's see. Turn off the top layer. And now you can see all those little edges were deleted. I'm going to turn that top layer back on. Click the top layer and let's hit delete again. And boom. Now we have those portions cut out on both the bottom layer and the top layer. There's a reason why we want them both cut out. I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. And now let's select the yellow portion of this. And I'm going to bring this down to, I don't know, let's say 40%. And grab the magic tool again. Click in the middle here to select just the yellow on the top layer only, okay? If I hit delete, boom. And now we have our folds exactly where we wanted them. And that was much easier than the last first tutorial I did. So now we can continue with the dark drop shadows, which go in between the two layers. So I'll put a layer in between, a blank layer, grab the color pure black, and grab our brush. Let's get a nice soft brush, 200 points big, and we can just go like tap it where it's supposed to be biggest on the point of the fold, and then bring it down to small. Boom, boom, boom. And that's pretty much it. Now we want to grab the polygon tool and get rid of what's not supposed to be part of that drop shadow, which is anything on the outside of the poster board. Okay, so now we drew the polygon, and I'm going to right click and select inverse and watch what happens to the outside portion. We just got rid of all that. I'm going to hit deselect to deselect that, and it's looking pretty good. Now let's go ahead and take the amount of the drop shadow, and I'm going to lessen the opacity so it's really, really light, right around 50%. Now let's go ahead and take those three layers, all those three layers, and we're going to drag them over to our finished product, and then we'll do the last couple portions of the drop shadow. So I'm going to drag it over here, and we like that. All right, so finally you can continue with the other drop shadow and just do it by hand. And there we go. Now we take the opacity of that new layer and let's lessen it. So it just looks like it's been creating a little bit of shadow onto the pegboard. Once again, that's about 50%. And finally, the upper layer on these folds, on these white folds, because they shouldn't be pure white, and this is this layer here. So we're going to put one more layer on top of that and do this one more time. And this time we go like this. Finally, we're going to take that opacity of that one and lessen it by a lot, and then do one more pass of the polygon tool to make sure that we grab anything that's not supposed to be part. Okay, so now we zoom out again, and then once again, you want to right click, select inverse, and get rid of anything that's beyond that. I'm going to deselect, and now we just take the opacity of this and just kind of bring it down 15%. And that's pretty much it. This is all for this tutorial. It's looking pretty good, and I like it. And so this is Rich calling it quits for its tutorial, saying over and out.